Welcome to the second session on the second day of the IMF TARC conference. We have a plenary lecture and two presentations. Our plenary speaker is Rivo Reitmann. He will talk about the tax administration and digitalization, the Estonian experience. And Rivo is Deputy Director General of the Estonian Tax and Customs Board since October 2016. And before that, he worked as the head of the service department between 2011 and 2016. And in 2014, he was awarded the first class badge of honor of the Estonian Tax and Customs Board. So Rivo's main tasks are related to the development of new e-services and the development of methodologies to improve the quality of service and implementing service reforms, digitalization, improving service design, and introducing new e-services. Rivo has a background in economics. He has a degree from Tallinn School of Economics, specializing in taxation, and Estonian Entrepreneurship University in Applied Sciences in the specialty of business management. So Rivo, I'm very pleased to welcome you at the conference. So the floor is yours. We will go for about 25 minutes talk and leave about 5 minutes for questions and answers.
So, but it's pleased to be here to introduce what we have done about the digitalization and what is our experience and how we have also, thanks to digitalization, go with the COVID also. So let me try to share the screen. So first of all, to understand our way of digitalization or our experience, I can't just tell what we are doing in tax administration. I have to go a bit deeper and try to explain what we are generally do in Estonia, what is the digitalization in Estonia, and where we are as a tax administration within this society. So first of all, no, this doesn't work, doesn't move. Okay, it's moving. First of all, we are quite small country. We have only 3.3 million people living here, and also it's mean that it is country where you can meet another Estonian occasionally every day, everywhere. So it's a foresty area everywhere, and also it means that people need digital contact, and then they prefer digital contact rather than physical contact. So for us, the digitalization is very crucial. And what we are thinking about us is that this internet and the connection to the internet through internet is for us is like a social right. Everybody has to be connected wherever they are living or whatever they are doing, in everywhere in the country, in every spot actually in the country, from the sea to forest. We all have electronic ID. This is one of the cornerstones what we have to identify you, and it's given after birth, and all the administration using only this ID. So whatever you are doing, whatever you need to identify yourself, the digital ID is the only one number you need from birth to death. So this is only one, and everybody have it. Practically all the services in Estonia is online or digitalized. There is only two services or action you can't do digitally or online, is getting married or divorced. This is only two things. So the rest of what you need to do, there is some kind of a digital solution for that or hidden service. And also what is very important to understand is that all our citizens actually trust e-solutions. We don't have any issues with trust. Of course, we are trying to be very transparent and explain how it works. But since from the beginning, we have never had issues with trust of e-services. So it's helped us a lot. So one of the cornerstones what we have is electronic ID. I already mentioned, but also this means this is a digital ID, very secure. Everybody knows their PIN codes to use it. So and also the cornerstones is general and centralized. So nobody who's actually providing some e-services, they don't need to think about the identification process because it's already done. You can use centralized version, and this is the only one we are using here. So we're using this electronic ID as a card, and mobile ID and smart ID. They are all connected and they are all similar. Whatever you log in, the picture is the same everywhere, and the process is always the same. So it's taken care of centralized level. So nobody else don't need to develop this process in Estonia anymore. Also, we have some very important principles as a country. Once only, this means if some information is already collected somehow, it's from some administration, the other can't ask the same information again. So we have to reuse this information or share it. This is because of bureaucracy. We have decided that everybody, if they need to submit something or send some information to state, you do it only once, and other institutions can't ask the same information. Digital by default. So first thing, if whatever new is coming from the law, whatever we need to do or whatever the customers need to do, the design start from the digital side, not the paper side. We don't design the paper version first and then digitalize it. We try to do it vice versa. First digital and try to avoid all of the paper version or need of any kind of bureaucracy. Transparency by design. So it means that whatever we do, it must be transparent. Every citizen must see how we are using this information. Also, it's also the principle that all this information we are collecting, we can protect it. You can change it or any kind of way, hack it or change it the history. What is there is there. Inside there, we are using blockchain and other techniques to protect it, and by that it's trustful and also transparent. And also open platforms. So it means whatever we do, if anybody needs to contact or make the connection with this service, they can do it. So it must be open for everybody. If anybody, example, the bookkeeping software want to connect with our software, it's open for them to make the development to be connected automatically. They don't need to use it any other ways. So all what we are doing must be open for everybody. And also the second biggest, even bigger cornerstone is connectivity. What we have, so we have a tool called X-Road. What it means actually is that all our databases from different administration from the governmental side, but not only, is connected. So the once only principle and transparency principle is covered here. So we can share and exchange all information we are collecting. Everybody who is needing this information, they can get it through this X-Road. And also it means that we don't have a so-called big super database. All the databases are there where they are made or collected, and every administration protect their own databases, but through this X-Road, they can share it and collect it if they need it. So it's more it's better protected in this way, because you can't log in somewhere in a big database to steal or whatever bad you want to do there. And of course, it's saving us lots of working years, because before that or without that, all this information is needed. You need to exchange it anyway somehow on paper or whatever way you're asking from the customer. So both sides in this solution wins: the government side, administration, and citizen and companies also. And it's working good, and this is also open platform, so it means that actually all the administration can use the different development codes or platforms, but through X-Road it is equalized, so it whatever you are using, you can still share and collect information through X-Road. There's no obstacle for that. And when we started, actually the first who introduced to Estonian the e-solution or the best way was the bank system, e-banking, back in 1996. Shortly after that, our administration, tax administration, actually launched the first electronic tax declaration. It was income tax declaration for citizens. And in the same time, actually, the ID card and X-Road was also introduced. So we were the first one actually starting this road. So, and after this year, of course, year by year, some new services have launched and added since today. Of course, now we have the different approach. Everything is already digitalized now. I think a bit differently, and then I explain it later on what it's mean actually. But still, what now concerns the tax administration, started in the 1999. Actually, the first declaration was submitted in the year 2000, and until 2010, we had strategic goal to raise the e-tax return percent higher as high as possible. And after 2012, we stopped actually this. It wasn't anymore the strategic goal because we achieved whatever was needed to achieve. Practically all of the declaration was submitted electronically, and there was no goal anymore where to raise. So, but then in the same year, and in 2012 or something like that, we discovered that all our declaration was able to submit electronically, but not all of our process in this time wasn't fully digitalized. So nowadays, of course, if you ask simply what can you do electronically in our environment, tax environment, the simple answer is everything, of course. So what we did back then, we took apart all our power and the client process and journey details, and figured out what actually are the point of or part of the process where the customers need to come to visit us or see us or send something to us, which is not digitalized. So after that, we did all of this development also, and now yes, we can say that all our processes are 100% digitalized. If you are not making any mistakes or are you making any tax fraud, you probably won't see us physically at all along your journey, along your life. So you have no need to come to visit us, absolutely. It is electronical. And how we do it, and what is the way we are developing it? It is not just to put some like a paper process to the digital process. It is we have to change the concept of what we are actually doing. So what we did is we turned the e-tax returns, we changed them to the machine-to-machine data collection. So we understood that we don't need actually the declaration forms. We don't collecting the forms. We are collecting information, data. This is what we need to make the calculation and make the e-invoices and all what we need to collect taxes. And of course, we discovered back then that you can automate it all, actually, all the process of tax collection. And it takes away the burden from the customer side also. They can use the simple system. They don't need to bother their heads about the regulation or how to fill the forms. System can do it because we need only data. And also I have one example of how to change it. Just one example to introduce. We have in the legislation we have written that if the employers pay the salary to employees, they have to submit the declaration next month, and after that pay after the calculation pay the taxes from the salary. It's a three-step process. Actually, it's not much, but still it's take some time, and you need to know the dates when you do it, and you can forget it. What we did, we took away this declaration part, and we worked together with the banks and put all the calculation, all the necessary information and process to the simple bank transfer. How it's look like actually, like that. It's a general payment sheet in every electronic bank probably around the world. But what is added here is in the bottom, is like you see the state taxes. If you choose the basis of the payment, it is a salary, then automatically the tax part appear, and the sum of taxes is automatically calculated. Now, if you paid with taxes, you get the information that payment is complete, taxes are paid. In the background, actually, the declaration is generated in our system, and the taxes are paid. So in real life, you don't need to do anything else. The salary with the taxes are paid at once, and you don't need to declare it to submit declaration or pay extra for the taxes. It's made in one click, and you get only the notification once per month, or you can just log in to make sure everything's okay. But it is, so you have no extra responsibilities in this way. And this is just the way we are thinking and the way we are trying to digitalize our nowadays services. Find a way where the customers actually are, what they are doing. If you pay the salary, you have to pay them anyway. So you do it in bank. So it's clever to put your services in the bank also, what's concerned in the payment taxes. And the all over the state, the way what we are looking for is now we try to reorganize all our services and try to follow the life cycle of the company or the people, what they are doing, how they are living, when they are needing what kind of services or info or benefits, whatever. And this is quite hard work actually, to combine them together and to give you as a list of needed services in the same solution or same way. And this is one example of that. And then if you register a company, all the necessary steps, and behind all the steps are some kind of administration of entity actually who need this information. But for you, it seems like the one road to go. And if you go all of these steps, and in the end, the company is made and active. So it takes maybe half an hour, but it's there. It's the way we are now what we are looking. And also one of the principle what to try to follow is to reduce the amount of the services what is actually where you actually need to log in. So all the services should be seamless, working somehow behind. Example, if you need some benefit from the state, the state owns lots of information to calculate, and we should understood before you asking that you need something. So the state should react, be more proactive without any application. This is what we are looking for actually in different way, so that customers can live their life without any intervention from the state side. It's not easy, but it's for us it is like digital transformation to zero, something like that. This is not paper from the paper to digital, but it's digital to seamless actually. So what does it mean in our side, in tax administration? It's all about data collection, of course. And what we see, what we can do with this data is this automated tax calculation and tax payment for the customers, and also top-notch risk analysis, because we can use all our information and the other institution information and put them together. We are then stronger in risk analysis. What we can also share to other administration who need it. But all this together, we can end up with a solution where the honest taxpayer actually don't need to contact even digitally with us, and we need to deal only with the risky customers and only them. And this is the next goal for us. To achieve that, what we need, of course, the modern data analytical tools, and this is what we are looking for, and already piloting this. How the artificial intelligence should help us in this journey. How to track more faster the movement or changes in the market. We have made some pilot. It's very early stages for us. It's nothing very fancy to share, but we already see that without this data management, smart data management, we can't succeed. So this is a crucial part of our very next future. So, and because of this, all of this seminar, at least it must cover the COVID period also. So how it impact us as organization first. Of course, for us, it wasn't actually, it didn't make any difference because all the system what we are using, our staff are using, our officers are using, are also web page and based on web, and they use the same login. So it doesn't matter where they are located. They can use all the tools what they need to do the job. And this is it. So and we gave them all the equipment they needed, a laptop or whatever they needed, and when the COVID hits the first wave, they went home, most of them. And the impact for us was mainly that what we saw is that now we have lots of real estate we don't need. So, and the result is that we went home, but we understood, and what we do today is that nobody wants to come back, and we decided that let it be so. So even after COVID, I guess most of us, where it's possible, can choose where they are working, home or office or both. So the impact for us is the reduce of real estate cost, and this is for us actually good side, good result. And if you look what happened in the business side or our services, like I mentioned, all of our services are online, electronic. So we didn't have any losses of services. It was reachable for everybody before COVID and during the COVID, and now also. Of course, it affected us how we work in tax audit and how actually the companies themselves behave. When the first wave hits, of course, everybody went home. The state went close, and the first impact was actually the tax areas and the tax theft. Actually, we saw that it's raised up because the company lost the money because it didn't flow in anymore. And we did the first actually movement after that tax administration. We lowered the tax interest rate about tax areas to 0 to help them to rescue the businesses, not to think about taxes in this first month. And this was quite effective measures. One schedule here to show here also. This was the first hit of the first wave, and in the March and April, the payment, the payment, we are calculating the payment and how much they're paying in 1 month, and how much they don't pay in the same month they should do. So the first month was terrible for them, and 20% of them didn't pay on the due date. But after this measurement were launched, it simplifies their life. They scheduled the tax payment. They waited when actually the state opened again, And now actually the payment rate is for us is it's quite okay. So that the general before COVID was that only 4 to 5% of companies didn't pay on the right time, and the rest of the base. And nowadays the rate is the same, 4% or something like that. Also, what we did, we provided the state with the data and analysis for the introduction of various measures and help. And then we try to avoid benefit fraud. And this is what the state are very pleased that we have all the information. We know who is actually needed this information. We have all this information in the house, and we help the government to do all this supporting part. And of course, we were very flexible and supportive to finding solutions to every problems what the companies exists. So, and of course, we try to help them also, because for us, as a tax administration, for us, it's very important future tax payment, not the history. So as much we can help them to survive, more they are paying in the future. So it's not in our interest to that they are stopping the activity at all. So, but the audit side, of course, we reduced the amount of physical audits and exchange them to to emails or video consulting. And actually the result of the tax audits are the same. It didn't went worse or better. So, but for the customer side, they actually given us a feedback that this way is much convenient. They don't need to go anyway. So this is we are still using even the COVID situation. Now it's not very bad. So it was run through what we are doing and how the COVID hits us, what we do, and how the digital transformation is actually helping us to cope with these kind of problems. But we are still in progress, as always. So still trying to find the new ways how to introduce our services or help our customers' life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We were perfect timing. So it's a fascinating journey, and Estonia is, of course, a flagship for Europe and the wider world in creating an e-government. And it's most remarkable that this transition was led by the tax and customs. So we have two questions from the audience. The first question is from Christus. In your digitalization journey, what has been the most significant challenge and how did you overcome it?
I think it is. What is the significant challenge for us? When we start back in 2000, for us, we tried to look the benchmark actually, but it wasn't much to learn. So most of what we have done, we have like invent them on the run. And of course, it is always easier if you have somebody to ask, and or even the customers don't know what they need actually. So you experiment a lot, and sometimes you make mistakes, sometimes you hit the spot. But I think the most crucial is to find the right people to do that. And maybe for us was the one of the mistake was that we tried to change the tax auditors, tax specialists to the inventors. It doesn't work. So you need special people for that actually, or open-minded guys who actually work with the solution, try to follow the steps of the customers, what they actually need. Not that you are the smartest. So that was when we started, it went wrong. So when they discovered that actually the customers has the answer, and you sometimes you need to surprise the customers with services they don't even expect. But the problem or challenge is for us, it's easier because, as I mentioned, the cornerstones were made before we started, or when we started in the same time. Because I've seen the struggle in other countries is about this identification systems, data transformation, and all of this. We don't need to do that. This is already covered centrally, so it's helping us a lot.
Thank you. So we have a few more questions arriving.
Mm-hmm.
The next question is about the communication strategies for educating and engaging with the taxpayers. And a related question, how did the digitalization reflected on the cost of the revenue collection?
Yeah, the cost of collection, actually, I remember the OECD actually measured this, and our cost was 40 euro cent to collect 100 euro. It's quite low. It's very low, and it's still low. Because we don't need all of work with declaration or work with consultation, anything. So, and even the customers don't need to help to submit this kind of declaration because they are very easy to do or automated totally. What kind of communication strategies or campaigns we used? We try to do it every year, of course, because we change a lot in every year. But first, and when we started, actually, it was like also the governmental approach to encourage everybody to use computers and digital solution or whatever they were, and of course, government did a lot to introduce how to use even the older people and the youngster people also. How to use computers, what you can do there, what to expect to do there. So they raising the trust and actually also the awareness of how to do it. But still, yeah, the one part of our work is continues to show and so how to pay taxes, why to pay taxes, to explain it. It is convenient and simple, and this is one cornerstone of our strategy. Also, very simple and convenient tax payment, whatever it means. So you can use all the tools necessary, and the people know our part of the strategy, and they are expecting it. And of course, we do lots of campaigns to do that, to encourage them to pay honestly taxes. So.
Thank you. So I know that there are more questions, but probably these questions can be raised at the panel, and Rivo, you will have a chance to talk more about the Estonian experience and share the practices.